So, who's OSCOB? For the past 2 hours or so, I've just been listening to what I can only assume is Dark Souls ambient folklore music by one composer, OSCOB. Now, I don't necessarily understand ambient music. There was a meme of Paulie basically telling Christopher Moltisanti that ambience can be made with a dishwasher, which I personally agree with 100%. Not 100%, more like 70%. But yeah, most ambient to me isn't very good. I like Aphex Twin sometimes, but I only like the stuff that most people like, and I don't really listen to any other ambient besides that. So, and yes, you can call me an uncultured swine. You can look at me like I'm a bastard. I know. I understand. I completely understand wholeheartedly. You should be listening to 7765 hashtag on SoundCloud. I understand. Oh my gosh, why aren't you listening to shout out Sayal, why aren't you listening to 3-Eye Sayal? Like, yes bro, I understand I should be listening to more ambient music before I talk about ambient music. I get it. However, this has just piqued my interest in a weird way that I can't really explain because I usually don't listen to this type of music. Now, mind you, this doesn't mean that my music taste is just rap or something like that. No, in fact, it's actually really niche. I like a lot of music. I like all types of music, actually. There hasn't been music I've heard that after the third listen I didn't like. And I think that's because of our preconceived notions about music and our inability to accept music as something that is formless. We want to give everything form, even things like dreams, Mr. Martin, even things like video games and stuff like that. Essentially, those things are just concepts until they're given physical form, and because music is this thing that is not physical, we try to give it form. So we look at the artist, and the artist, in this case, might not be there either. Now, I actually did find OSCOB's YouTube channel. I thought I did, but I don't think I did. I clicked on OSCOB's channel, and it's Sonic live streams and Mario live streams. So is this OSCOB? If not, then who is OSCOB? And why are they making such great music? After learning about this OSCOB fellow, I immediately went to Apple Music, the app, and checked for any type of OSCOB or any type of Praise the Sun album. This is the album that I first listened to that came up on my YouTube recommended just randomly after watching hours and hours of Elden Ring videos. And what seemed to blow my mind even more is not that this person does exist and does make other music, but that their music is staunchly different from the music that you would expect from a guy named OSCOB. I don't know, I expected shoegaze, like, I don't know, Circle Jerk or something like that. This is mostly pertaining to OSCOB's newer music. I don't know if this is a he or a she or a they or whatever, so I'm just gonna assume it's a they and then keep on pushing. Ambient and vaporwave seem to be their main form of music if you look on their Bandcamp, which is actually the only place where you can find all of the music in one spot. But that's not all. The only music that is everywhere seems to be this one album they created called Junkie, which is, as far as I can tell, mostly D&B and a bit of ambient, but mostly D&B. I'm kind of assuming in some way that maybe OSCOB has some sort of DJ background, because the music I've heard, even if it's music I don't listen to, I don't really listen to drum and bass, and I don't listen to a lot of breakcore either. That is a lot of that on the album too, on Junkie. The reason I say that is because this isn't just a 14-year-old. It doesn't sound like it. It might be, because I've heard a lot of great 14-year-old music because BandLab exists. But I've heard a lot of good stuff from this person. This person makes great music, stuff that you wouldn't expect from a beginner, essentially. And this is coming from a person who makes music and doesn't believe that they're on a beginner level anymore, maybe more of an adept level or a novice, but I make music. She give me the perk, I power up. She give me the peach and that's enough. I'm off of the shrooms, I see through the blood. I think I got way too many drugs in my cup, drugs in my cup. Drugs in my cup, drugs in my cup. I make music, so.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
In my head, this isn't music that I've heard before from a beginner. I've definitely, again, listened to beginners before, so take that as you will. I don't know, but that still begs the question: who the hell is OSCOB? Are they Japanese? Are they English? I don't know. And the reason I ask this question is because there's a lot of Japanese kanji in a lot of their creations. However, there is also a lot of pertaining to folklore, actually that's the newest album they created end of the year. So that means they are still actively creating music. However, you can look it up on Instagram. I can't find a person named OSCOB. You can look it up on YouTube. I found a couple of people named OSCOB, and all those people seem to be different strands of OSCOB. Then I find an entire slew of people reposting and posting this person's music as if it's genuinely some of the greatest music I've ever heard. And I want to say it now, it's pretty fucking near there. Like, let's get off of the topic of trying to find out who OSCOB is, because maybe, one, that person doesn't want to be found out as a internet celebrity or a celebrity in general, and two, the music is phenomenal. The album I listened to, and I think this is the main album most people listen to, was the album Praise the Sun God. And immediately I thought of DarkSouls. There's a character on the cover art that looks like a Dark Souls character, or maybe just a Souls-like games character in general. There is another creation by him or by someone in his genre or sphere, and I'm sorry for using the universal he, I forgot that I was calling them today, in their universal genre, I guess, that created another album, a guy called Time Fragment, and they also seem to come from the same places, you know what I mean, like the same references, the same type of vibe. When you listen to Praise the Sun God, you start off by immediately seeing yourself walking down a long corridor, almost like you're a hollowed in the first Dark Souls game, right? Or is that the third? I can't remember. I don't remember Dark Souls lore, man. Listen to Fudge Muppet if you want to know that much. Or does he make Elder Scrolls lore? I can never remember. Anyway, when you listen to Praise the Sun God, you immediately think of something bigger than yourself, an entire world, a Dark Souls world, no, almost. And the entire album cover, the art, the music, everything kind of plays into this feeling of you're in a new world. In fact, there's an entire song on there called We Are Amongst Strange Beings in a Strange Land. And another one is Beyond the something. I can't remember off top, but I just looked at it. But yeah, and I believe that's a reference to a movie or a show. I believe it's it's one of the two. But essentially, if you think about it like this guy is creating a world, right? And also, I know I didn't reference Solaire. The reason I didn't reference Solaire is because it's very obvious that it's a reference to Solaire. Like the emblem for Solaire is right smack dab on the cover. I'm gonna put the cover up so you can see it, like on the edit. Like I'm gonna put it up for a second so you know what I'm talking about. But essentially, this guy went out of his way, or their way, or her way, or whoever. This person went out of their way to place this obvious reference on this album, and then place a character who looks so much like a Dark Souls character that I tried to look him up and I just couldn't think of it. I was like, bro, that's not Nameless King. It's obviously not. Who is that? I thought it was a Crucible Knight at first, but I believe this album was made in like 2019. Ooh, so it might be a Crucible. It might be a Crucible. No, because Elden Ring dropped in like 2021, 2022. So no, I don't think it's a Crucible Knight. But it looks like a Dark Souls character. That's what I'm getting at. It looks like a Dark Souls character. And the naming of each different song continues to place that on you. And it's almost as if this world is bigger than just this album and is something deeper, because there's more albums that pertain to this dark universe, if you will, this world of indifference is what I'm going to call it, because it feels, when you're listening to the music, and you can go and listen to yourself, it feels as if there's a underlying constant within it, but there is a want to go against the grain of that constant. It's as if something or other is in the land that isn't supposed to be there, or that is there and is shifting the balance. So slowly, as you get further and further into the album, you start to feel as if this entity or whatever the fuck is slowly becoming more prevalent. You, maybe. As I'm saying this now, that kind of makes more sense. You are the being, the audience, the listener. Again, this could all be speculation. I could just be straight up munching this guy's meat right now, and I could be completely wrong, right? But however, if you look at this person, they seem to keep this theme going in so much of their music that it's almost as if the music is pertaining to something deeper. Even if it's not actually pertaining to something deeper, it's as if it's supposed to. Like Dark Souls. You think you're just in a world fighting a couple of monsters, trying to get a goddamn fire started up. Or in Elden Ring. Let me use Elden Ring as a better example, because I can't remember Dark Souls lore very well. When you look at something like Elden Ring, you are a character in a world so vast and so filled with information and mystery that you cannot comprehend it. And you go out of your way to try and tackle the world without this knowledge or information that apparently needs to be essential because every other person in the fucking lands between has it. That's what I feel like this album is. You just woke up, you're walking out of the graveyard, you're looking around, Vare's sitting in front of you, and you're thinking, fuck, this is a large place with a lot of stuff going on. Wow. Actually getting knee deep into the grit and the grime, right? And you're realizing that it's not actually that vast, but it is that vast. And that's what I think this album really is. Praise the sun god. That's what I think this album really pertains to, is this idea of vastness without actually seeming vast. That's what I think it is. And to explain that a little bit more, because I'm sure that makes no sense, vastness while not being vast is like a person that's shallow but has a little bit of something to them. You know what I mean? It's the opposite of it, actually. A person who's shallow, when you come up to them, you're like, oh, this fucking guy, right? And then you actually get to know them and understand them, and you realize they're not shallow, they just have trauma from being a child or something. That's what that is, vastness without being vast. It's as if you walking into a TARDIS, and as you realize the TARDIS is bigger, you're like, oh, it's not that big, but it shouldn't be as big as it is. Pause. That's what she said. And it kind of mind boggles you for a second, like, whoa, this is a lot. That's how I felt getting into the album, like, whoa, this is something I haven't heard before. This is a lot. But it wasn't a lot. In fact, it was the complete opposite of a lot. It was actually very concise. It wasn't convoluted. You didn't feel like you were being transmitted a billion fucking sounds in a second. You actually feel like you're taking a journey. OSCOB has been able to emulate the feeling of the Souls-like game into music. Now, it would be hilarious and utterly freaking like mind-blowing, right? If somehow me talking about this is like to blow the guy up or whatever, right? Because they're obviously just some random dude, some random chick, some random whoever, I don't care. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep using the universal he right now because I do not want to have to keep using they. I can't speak. I bite my tongue when I speak sometimes, and it's just making me stutter because I have to reiterate what I'm saying, and it's like, bro, I got spit in my, like, come on, bro. There's a lot going on. But anywho, he seems to have this concept figured out. And I haven't listened to Folklore, this new album from October 26th. I haven't listened to this Folklore album yet, but I believe it has the exact same substance of something deeper going on behind the scenes of this world created that you don't even really truly understand. but it's alive because of the music. And that brings me back to another point, but I really don't want to get into it because I kind of want to go back into the whole who was OSCOB and all this other stuff. So, segue. OSCOB, or the OSCOB that I keep seeing on my YouTube feed, seems to be Maxfield Davidson. Strong ass name. And they do actually have some of their music placed on their page, their actual OSCOB page. However, it's at the very bottom in playlists. This is really important to the whole part of this video about who is OSCOB. If you're wondering how to spell it, it's OSCOB, not OSCOP. I just can't say B's because for some odd reason, I don't know. So why make this video? If OSCOB is obviously just OSCOB, why make this video? To be honest, it's to show some support. This is great music, and I believe right now, in terms of capitalism and oversaturation, we've gotten to a place in music where there are so many people trying to put form onto music that they've overall destroyed what it means to be an artist and have uplifted what it means to be crappy art. And that doesn't mean I think that there's bad art out there, but there is art that just doesn't mean anything. And I'm tired of people assuming that this is what art is. I don't know why you're so upset about it. Like, of course I'm upset. I'm an artist and I'm watching art die in front of me. I'm watching it be crucified. And I'm watching people look at art and see art and then go, not art. You've never sat in the shoes of a person that has to make art. You've never had to bleed out for your art. You've never had to wake up in the morning and make a song you didn't want to make, or have to get up in the morning and do something you really didn't want to do. When it comes to art, you do that for a job, which you hate, and that's not the same. It's not even close to the same. And that's why I respect people like OSCOB and want to give them more support. And that's what I feel like my channel should become, finding these artists who are genuinely amazing and deserve way more love and support. Because OSCOB probably doesn't know that they make great music. They're probably just making this music to enjoy something about themselves, or to separate themselves from themselves, or to look at art in a new way, or to look at the world they've created in a new way. And it makes me want to go and look at more of their art. And that's why I'm telling you that this whole video is more so about me wanting you to go and look at OSCOB's work, to go and see what he's about, to go and see what the hype is, I guess. Because there's a lot of albums and a lot of music that I think a lot of people should listen to. And I believe that as a YouTuber now, because I'm going to become a full-time YouTuber, I feel it in my bones. I'm gonna lock in on this YouTube shit. I'm gonna become an actual YouTuber. I believe as a YouTuber, that is the point of YouTube, to show things that haven't been shown yet, to create something new and let people indulge in it, or to show something new and let people indulge in it. And that's what I think this music really is to me. Something completely new, something completely unorthodox, and something that, and not in a bad way, because some people hear unorthodox and think, oh man, does that mean it sucks? No, this is great shit. Okay, this is great. This is crack. This is so good. But yeah, something unorthodox and not really understood, especially in my culture, in black culture, where we don't really tend to try and veer off into other paths in fear of seeing ourselves or other black people seeing us in different lights, which I find very, 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 very not black. I think that judgment is the most anti-black thing in the world, but that's neither here nor there, and we're getting on a completely different topic, so I'm just not even gonna go in that. So who is OSCOB, and what was this whole video about, if not about the fact that OSCOB is some mysterious artist making great music? Firstly, they technically are mysterious. You're not gonna find that motherfucker. They don't have an Instagram. They don't have a Twitter, I don't think. And nobody uses Snapchat like that no more. So you're not gonna find them unless you go on their Bandcamp. That's what this is about. The inability to express oneself in a manner that allows them to feed oneself is the greatest threat to artistry, but it is also the greatest weakness to artistry, because the people that do feed themselves down other art in order to preserve their spot, you can see that everywhere. Hell, Nicki Minaj downs every female rapper she comes across. It's just apparent. It's how it works. And I believe that in showing light on this musician, I can avenue into showing lights on more musicians, so that one day people can just see that music is music, and that if you want to feel like you're walking into a goddamn castle with thousands of dragons next to you and a freaking horse, and all you got is a goddamn stick, sometimes you want that type of music. And if you want to feel like you're a trap star and like you're driving in a Hellcat, sometimes you want that type of music too. The whole point is that music is a sound. Music is formless. Music has no box, no barrier, no essentials, no rules. And in fact, the rules that were created were meant to be broken on purpose. So what makes anyone think that music should be placed in this contemporary box? The title of this video probably won't be "Who is OSCOB?" It's most likely going to be why music is formless and what music means to people. Because this music means to me that there is good music out there. And not even just that there's music out there that is entirely different from music that you would want to hear. Music that can put you in an entire different mood that you're always in. Music that essentially can change how you view the world, because the world right now does not want to be viewed. That's who I think OSCOB is. I think that's a concept. I think it's a concept that would allow us to slowly integrate into a society that allows for music to be formless. Because that's what music is. It's a concept, not a person.